So today we're going to be learning how to make a nameplate or design a nameplate using Mastercam. So when you first open the software, this is the screen that you will be seeing. The nameplate is 6 inches by 2.5 inches by 1/2 inch. Create the nameplate using lines. Let's start at 0, 0. And here this is the length, so let's put the length of 6, and we'll keep it horizontal. So there we go. By 2.5 inches. So we'll input 2.5, enter, and we'll click the vertical tab. And then again with the we'll unclick the vertical and put 6, and we close that off and we're good to go. So I like making the image of the nameplate prior so I can get an idea of the area that I should be working in. So in Mastercam you can create a bunch of different lines, line segments, arcs, circles. What we should first work on is the outside, the contour of the nameplate. Now you can have a basic contour, like a basic square contour. You can make a elliptoid contour or a circular contour or pretty much any shape that you want. For me, I'm just going to make a basic ellipse. So I'm going to select the base point. I want to start at the center, which is 3 inches in by 1.25, and that, as you can see, begins the circle here. And I will have this be 3 inches, and the height be 1.5. So the ellipse barely touches the sides of the nameplate. And I want to make an inner ellipse because I want to give the surface another contour. We're going to create another ellipse at the center. So 3, enter, 1.25, enter, and this time we are going to go to 2.9 in width and 1.15 in height. And that is all. So I'll make a basic nameplate. With the words "My name is Earl," and you can put it horizontally or vertically, or at the top or bottom of an arc. You could also put it at the top of a chain. A chain is pretty much a line or a closed line. What I will do is I will keep it horizontal. Also, I will press enter here and try to put that in the center, and you can click the area that you want it in. Now this is too big, so what we could do is press escape and we return, we undo, and you can change the size and the spacing of the lettering. So what I will do is I'll change the size to 0.5. The spacing changes automatically. And I can go back in, and there you go. Let's back out, create letters, check, and we'll adjust. And unfortunately, Mastercam, there are some things in Mastercam that are not as advanced, that you actually have to go back, and it's pretty much trial and error. Now, what you can do is also you can create circles, lines, as I said before. You can create parallel lines. Let's say this line, and there we go. You can create curves. Or splines, and so on. So you can use these to create artwork if you want. So now let's say this is you're pretty much done with creating your basic nameplate. What we want to start doing now is creating the toolpaths. So what we start with is the contour. And we have to pick a chain. So as I said, a chain is a closed line. So we'll click this chain and we'll click OK. Now there will be a set of tools that we will assign you. It'll probably consist of an end mill, a ball end mill, an engraving tool of some sort. So this is the toolpath. When we open the toolpath, we'll click on the contour. The tool, you can select it from the library. First we'll select filter, and we'll click on the end mill and unclick the ball and mill era, and click OK, and we'll select it from the tool library. And here it gives us a list of flat end mills that we can choose from. Now for this we can choose the 1/4, or actually 1/2 flat end mill. And then we will do the cut parameters. So these are the cut parameters. These are pretty much options for how the tool is going to cut the piece. The compensation, the direction, the depth of the cut, lead in and lead out, how the tool itself will enter the piece, the breakthrough if you're going to drill a hole, how many passes you're going to take to get to the final cut, and the linking parameters, which are how the tool itself is going to cut into the piece, how deep it's going to go. So let's start with depth cut. We want to make the max rough step, which is how how deep the piece is going to go, or how deep the tool is going to go with every step. We'll make that 1/10 of an inch, with a finishing step of 1/2 of that. This is the entry and exit. We'll see how that how it enters and exits the piece afterwards when we render it. We won't be breaking through. We do not need multipaths. We'll go back straight to the linking parameters. We'll click on the clearance, and we'll say you can choose to make the tool go back up to the clearance height, which is 2 inches above the piece, only at the beginning and the end of the operation. Or if you do not click that tab, then you're going to make it go at up to 2 inches whenever it's done making a cut. So this is the retract. That's after it's done making a cut. It goes up to 0.25 of an inch above the piece. The feed plane is the feed rate. We can make that 0.2 is fine. The top of stock is at 0, 0, and the depth that we want to go to is, we said that the aluminum piece that you'll be working with, the raw stock material, is 0.5 inches. So we will make this 0.5, and that will be absolute. Check this, and it is now inside. So this is the tool path, as you can see. Now from the top view, the toolpath is inside the piece. That's not what we want. We want it to be from the outside. So we will do is we will click on parameters, and we will go to cut parameters, and we'll let that be right. And check. And this is the regenerate button. And when we regenerate, that is what the toolpath will look like. So we can see the tool cutting to verify by clicking this option and press play, and it will take a few paths, and then it will start cutting into the piece. Oh, and then so in order for it to cut into the piece, what I forgot was to put the negative sign here, because we will be cutting down into the negative z direction. So again, we will regenerate. As you can see, it'll be more than one path, and we'll re-verify, and there we are. Can fast forward. Now we did go 0.5 into the piece, or 0.5 in the negative z direction, but we didn't set the stock, and therefore Mastercam generates stock for us, and we will set the stock later and re-verify. Now that we're done doing the outer contour, I put an inner contour, a little chamfer, or a little fillet. And the way we do that is we create a new toolpath, contour, and we will select this chain and click OK. And the tool here will be the ball and mill. And we go into the tool library, and we will use a 1/4 inch ball and mill. So we can go straight to linking parameters, and we will select a depth of 1/10 of an inch in the negative direction, and there we go. We can verify that by going up here, regenerating, and play. Now this will give us the entire toolpaths, both toolpaths. And we can fast forward. And this is what I did with the ball and mill. So now it's time to do the engraving. There are several methods for creating the engraving. The best method, or the easiest method, is to create a basic contour again with an offset of 0. So it now is asking us to pick the chains. So we'll select all the change. When it says that, pretty much you just have to end the contour chain that you're at and just select the next one. And that's because it's asking for a branch point, and a branch point is basically an area where the line moves, or the line ends and another one begins. So here the branch point was for this line was this line, so we can end that. There are no other branch points, and we end this. Alright, now again it's a contour. We haven't decided which tool which engraver we were going to use during the semester. So for now we're going to use a 1/16 ball end mill on that, and we're going to set the diameter offset to 0. We will turn all compensation off. And we can go straight to linking parameter, and we'll say that the depth is 1/10 of an inch, so 0.05, negative, and that is all. Now we can verify all this. Generate, and go up here. We can verify all this. We can fast forward. Once in a while you'll get funky things like this, so you'll go back and all you have to do is just change the parameters. Here we left the lead in and lead out checked. We uncheck that, and I believe the tool that we used was also too large, so we can reselect the tool from the tool library. Let's regenerate, and let's see where that gets us. Press play. So whenever we find areas such as here or here or here that are incomplete, that means that they were not selected when we were selecting the chains for the tool to follow. So all we have to do, we can actually turn off the tool path so we can see better here, and we just reselect them, or we can create a new toolpath, contour, and I believe it was the end of the A. And close it. Again, contour tool. The offsets are off, lead-ins and leads-outs are off. We can just reset this to 0.05 negative, and we should be good to go. Now, let's see. Oh, we should actually start from here, and we can fast forward. Okay, so what's left is the second side of the A, the R, to a path, contour, what we can actually also do is we can turn on this contour and see which areas have not been chosen. You can see over here hasn't been chosen, here, and the bottom of the R. So we'll do another toolpath, contour, and there's one, and we'll end, here's one, and there, and here we are, and that should be it. And tools, composition is off, lead in, lead out is off, and the linking parameter again has to be set. And we are good to go. So, group, generate, and we can watch it. So now it's making the contours. And there's my nameplate. Now you can do an unlimited amount of designs on the nameplate using the basic contour method. You also have different fonts that you can choose from, and in here as well. So you can also put it at the top of a chain and make the wording go around or according to whichever chain that you want. So here you can go inside. We can do that again. Create letters, or let's go back. Escape. Create letters and pick a contour, and we will pick the opposite direction. This is for changing the direction, and it will be on the inside, as you can see. Let me turn these off. So that was my last one. And you can create a myriad of shapes and designs using the options that you have here. And that is pretty much it. It's very basic, very simple. There's only 2 steps left, and these are to set up the stock. Pretty much just and here is the box where you can set it up. What you do is you just set the dimensions, which as we said are 2.5 by 6 by 0.5, and here you can choose where the stock is held from. So we will hold it from this top portion here, and that will be our zeros, and we will display it. So here we are, and there you are. That is stock displayed. And we can re-verify, and we will choose to go quickly, and there it is. Now what you can do is you can make your ellipse a little bit smaller than the box itself, so that you can make sure that the tool passes over the entire area, so you do not have a flat surface anywhere. And we can fast forward through this, and there we are. That is your nameplate. The final step is to post-process, and that is pretty much creating the code that we will use on the machines. And that will cover, I will do a quick post-processing right now. And firstly, we have to set up the mill, the type of mill that we're using. So here, the mill is the default. Click on the files, and we have to replace it with the type of mill that we're using, which is the Fryer MB11 NLM 3000. And select OK, regenerate, and we will post-process. Alright, file. Alright. And here is the series of lines that will come out. Now we will save this to your desktop as an M file. To desktop, and you can name it. I will name it sample name plate, or we can make it small. Sample name, and save it, and we will go into our desktop. And here it is. So we can open this with a notepad. And there you are. Now we will be assigning tool numbers, and the tool types. So these tool types, we will be telling you which they are, and their size, their width, and what number to number them. And that is all. You'll put this on a floppy, or you'll give this to me on a flash drive. I'll put it on a floppy disk, and we will run it through the machines. I hope this was instructive, and thank you.